answered the letter. Now, like me, you are a part of this place.
That ain't sounding ominous at all, still. We had 6 more recruits, but then again, we also failed to pull in any new healers. So essentially we've got nothing. Absolutely nothing. What do we have for missions again? Don't think we'll be saying hi to the Baron. Though healing skills for Arbalest could be nice. What are you suffering of? Rabies. The infamous leper disease. Can't hit things, but when you do... That's medium length. Gets portraits. Yeah, I'll toss you aside for the time. Oh, was it you, Marillac, who was there? Probably was. Kylie as well. But Kylie is our expendable healer. But nonetheless... Or he has a medium length one. Don't think we have bloody herbs yet. Do we? We do. But it has deeds. And we are running low on deeds. We maybe should consider this one, All Saints Day. Yeah, that actually makes sense to me. So we'll at least be bringing in Bolbeck. So that's a given. Marillac, because gotta. Got to have a tank. Gilpin, because got to fill those slots somehow. And a healer would do us a world of good, though Kylie's got a little bit of problem with their stress levels. 65 out of 200. And it's ruin, so it's bound to include unsavory things. But it's not like we could take any of these people with us. We technically could go without a healer, but that sounds just dumb. Let's see, do we have anything that would lessen his stress? Well, there's Gallows Humor, which can backfire. There's Encourage. And... yeah, you don't do much. Oh, they can just abandon hope. All is good. That's for the camping, though. Should try to not let them reach said levels before setting down to camp. So, can't pull with Hands from the Abyss. And I won't be purchasing him a much more things since he is the expendable one. Whereas you can give dodge. Well, you'll need to go through a bit of training, don't you? Sort by level, and the current party will be at the top. All good, all good. You won't do much. Then there's you. I rather have you can nervous stab from the back row, so that's good. Okay, yes, fine. This is a very bad move, I'd say. We're not doing Blight either, so... yeah, let's get the Fortifying Vapors. And thus there's something we'll have to remove from here. Let's say that affects whole party if I'm not mistaken, but it's only 3 dodge. Then could stab more of the get down so that you get pulled to the front. And give more protection to the ally that's looking after you. And now we supposedly get provisions for you. Yeah, that seems about right to me. As does that. 2 shovels, 3 keys, couple of holy waters, and some blood just in case. It's not like we'll be getting much more than what we have there. This all looks to be well and correct to me. Unless we are skimming down on food, but it's just a low-level mission. We'll do fine.
There is power in symbols. Collect the scattered scraps of faith and give comfort to the masses.
So 3 holy relics, and with no knowledge if one is over here, we'll have to go. Now we'll look at that once we are returning from here. And here we go. Instant stress, and we are at 80. Excellent. Well, duelists advance. And might as well finish off with crushing. Oh, they moved already, so we have time.
Executed with impunity.
For example, to nervous stab at them.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
And you shall sacrificial stab. Should I have given more trinkets to these people? Now that I have them.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope
Yeah, that's
blossoms.
the first battle down. Webbers and spitters. Better try and take care of them
Another one
before
falls.
they get to beating us. Because that would
Another
be most
abomination
unfortunate.
cleansed from our lands.
So let's try to combine the sacrificial and the nervous stab together. And in the end, since the other one missed, it wasn't quite enough. Gilpinus also missed. And lost their riposte because they were stunned, so that's unfortunate.
Continue the
Oh, there we go,
onslaught.
riposte continues.
Destroy them all.
And crushed.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
There's absolutely nothing in there, just a curio over yonder. You should... That didn't give stuff, did it? Alright, Marillac, investigate. Dodge and protection until camp. Nothing of value was lost. And here we got
Packs laden with loot
things.
are often low on supplies.
And then we'll be heading back. No longer bloodlusting, but that's not a problem. Rare antique, good, good. And now to the actual part of the dungeon, which is unfortunately shaped We should do something about the shadowy atmosphere we got here in a moment, but... the enemies were surprised still nonetheless. That's a good thing. That's an awkward thing to happen, leaving them at 1, but let's try to
Press this
stab them to
advantage.
death.
Give them no quarter.
Alright, you have rendered successfully. Let's see here, more stabbing times. Let's Wicked Slice.
Decimated.
And then once the healer's turn rolls around, we can heal Gilpin up. Stop
Their formation
slaying
is broken.
Gilpin.
Maintain
Alright,
the
the
offensive.
riposte takes care of the target instead, I guess. This thing took holy water to reduce stress, didn't it? That it did. We are much better off now.
If only treasure could
The
staunch the
debuff
flow
charm
of
is...
otherworldly corruption.
I don't like what it looks like, that I don't. Food for everyone. Getting dark again. Don't like it when it's dark. Supplicants and sycophants. And that would have been an affliction right there. Yeah, thirst from the one fellow that's already cursed. I don't mind. And let's make sure that he's more likely to be hit by those things in the first place. So the rampart cannot hit at the back, so let's just go crushing. I should have put out retribution, just so this riposte would have hit again. What? A guard. Wasn't expecting quite that level of it. Yeah, really should have put that riposte out there. A terrible mistake, to be sure. The quick stab over yonder. And let's see if retribution doesn't kill this one. Well, of course it doesn't. Can't win them all. Oh dear, I misclicked. Most unfortunate.
The will to fight falters.
Oh, the guard doesn't last that long. Interesting. Well,
Annihilated.
let's finish that one off. And you heal yourself. You probably should get to healing yourself as well. And before that one gets to move, let's crush him out of the game. And here... they are not too bleed resistant, so let's put them bleeding. And you shall heal your ally at the back. More crushing, and that's about it.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
They so graciously left us a key to open this with, so let's do just that. Missing space for 4 crests. Anything we would like to drop? Don't think Jade's going to prove to be of much importance here. Curios and an empty room on the way. We are not keeping you, whereas you got your positive quirks full, so... Marry luck. Do it. An old journal entry. I do want me one of those. Don't think debuff charm's that important. Trample journal finale. Yeah, I do really want that. And should fix the default party order. This gave riches for a holy water, and we don't have space for riches right about now. This room was going to be empty. Then here we have quest location. Undoubtedly a battle just as well, but before that we will encounter Curio here in the hallway. And a trap. 70, 100, 60, 60. Alright, well, didn't get the stress relief
Mind that
for
such
you then.
missteps are the exception, and not the rule.
Yeah, let's put up a bit more of the
The way
torch.
is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
And then the next one's going to be... no battle. Alright. Quest location over there. Well, we'll just do a loop around. And then probably rest for a camp there. So we need this. And we need space for it. Well, we'll be camping at the next quest location then, to relieve that space. And we do probably need a shovel in the future. It's the 2 food. That's going to make space. Yeah, let's loop around here.
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles. Paid for in blood.
Can't take everything, unfortunately. We already learned what happens when you try this thing, but... once more for good measure. Should have
Carelessness will
believed.
find no clemency in this place.
Should have believed on the first. Because now this is a risk. Well, Webbers and Spitters could have been worse. Let's take the surefire
Begone,
kill here.
fiend.
Not dead yet. Well, they didn't really get much done in the time they had. They moved already, but you don't really have any, so... Let's put you on healing for now. Alright, you are soon looking to bloodlust.
Back to the
That's
pit.
no problem. We can provide. Gilpin stun. Gilpin does the best damage here. to think it's still Marilla who we are healing. Not zero bleed at the least. So could have been worse. Some healing Vago on this fellow. Kylie, try again. Alright, 7, not bleeding still. And that's that battle taken care of.
But a victory nonetheless.
What do we have
Wealth
here?
beyond measure. Awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
Alright, no need to be looking for the blood here. 2 Webbers. Well, let's take care of the 2 Webbers then. Yep, pest control at its finest.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
Not really looking for gold right now. Doesn't say battle. Shouldn't be battle. Yes. Is battle. Not what we were looking for.
Well struck.
Well, the plan remains the same.
Precision and power.
It's getting real dark here, but the plan remains the same. Should we? Yeah, let's do this. Marillac, put out a beating for me, will ya?
A powerful blow.
That was an interesting exchange there. Next round, stabbing time. You really want to fight with the highwayman, don't ya? Well, that's us done with that.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Let's see. Probably just a full meal since it's bit of a stretch to the final quest location. And we might run into two occasions of needing to eat. So even though the -10 stress would be a good one here, let's remain on the sensible side of things. You abandon hope. And you gallows humor. Now let's see what else we might want to do. So you could give resistance to pretty much everything, produce random supply items. You could give damage to a companion. I think you are going to be having the unparalleled finesse online. We could just put everything on him. More speed, more dodge. Oh, we could start resupplying. We need all the space we can get. So let's instruct Gilpin here. And come on, nighttime ambush.
Terrors may indeed stalk these shadows, but yonder, a glint of gold.
There we are.
Obliterated.
I'm good at these ones. So let's see, they don't really have stun resistance, so let's go for it. You get onto your own spot. might as well pull this to the front for easier hitting. Poor Gilpin, we so wanted him to get the move. Oh well, the nervous stab gets him. Be healed. Could have been worse.
Destroyed.
Destroyed. Agreed with that one. Stabby. Stabby. There.
The light. The promise of safety.
Ain't no use for that. Well, antiquarian, what do we have here?
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
One of the relics we went looking for. What a surprise. An empty sack. And a fight. Well, gatekeepers need to be dealt with. Really now? Really? Oh well.
A singular strike.
We'll nervous stab that probably. Success. Gather the blood from the one who is already infected. Yes, please do. And then we'll go for the openings of different veins. Not quite dead yet, so... Well, we do have the nervous stab. But will they move fast enough? They should. So let's bonk over there and now regret, as that thing gets to move first. It didn't. Well then. That's done.
Foolish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
Should probably take the invitation with us, but what are we replacing for it? Don't think torches, really. I guess the journal page has to go. I so wanted to keep it with me. I need to finish the collection and all. But can't have everything. There we go, no tomfoolery this time about. So there's one of the food events, and if another comes by, I will have been rewarded. Final quest location's right over there, I'm sure of it.
Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
And it looks like we have but one fight before us.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
With the exception of the final fight, of course. More gatekeepers, I see. You don't really want to be there, especially not if you are marked. Let's try and move our other heroes a bit forward. Give you some more buffer for that. And yeah, you head on back now. Yeah, I got to wait until next round before he gets to heal himself. Dead stop.
Perched at the very precipice of oblivion.
Do not zero bleed and kill yourself. Though you're expendable, that would still be sort of a bummer. That's this sycophant down. You are no longer bloodlusting. Well, we do seem to have a cursed occultist at our hands. Well, it was nice knowing ya. Expendables be expendables, can't really be feeding ya. So, see you at the courtyard. Morbid, I am aware. But that's what you'll become. I do believe.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
This eats keys.
A fortune, waiting to be spent.
Yeah, I can leave those behind. Already got 12 busts. Final torch. Well, that's the 70, that's the 60, and that's the no tomfoolery option there. Oh.
A handsome reward for a task well
Continue
performed.
adventuring. What's in the final room? Absolutely nothing. Well then. Let's do the age-old trick. Oh.
Darkness closes in, haunting the hearts
Turning
of
the
men.
lights off. And let's see what we have here. We can have that page if we get rid of the food. Easy.
The abbot will be grateful. The trappings of his faith have been restored.
Good deal of money there. Not as much as on those missions where the trapezohedrons hop out at our face at every opportunity, but let's see here. So meditator, Oh, there goes Gilvin's quick draw. Can't help it though. Can't help it.
Take advantage of this faith-fueled charity. It will not last.
The abbey will be decorated for the duration of the event, and all are welcome to visit during the extended hours. Alright. Well. Still not what I am looking for, but Kylie. Slow draw, slow reflexes, Crimson Curse. I'm sorry, mate, but no.
Another soul battered and broken, cast aside like a spent torch.
Plus damage versus stonework if we were to go for the hag. is stonework? That's the question here. Should probably aim for a shorter veteran mission. What's here? Give things to Vestal. Meh. More dodge for the Hound Master. And another All Saints Day for more damage versus Unholy. Lot of deeds available right about now, I see. Gentle Tide. Well, no, can't do that right now. Don't think I have a reasonable party for the hag. Can I ask Venoi? Nope, cannot ask Venoi. Speaking of whom... And I think... you might want to put Warbadon somewhere here to recover. Marillac and Bolbeck as well, because it's free. Ah, Bolbeck wants to gamble, I see. Well, Bolbeck cannot gamble. Is a shame in it. Let's see, could get a bigger stagecoach network or upgrade the blacksmith. Might as well put some more weaponsmithing.
In the end, every plan relies upon a strong arm and tempered steel.
So let's see here. If we do aim for say this one. It's a bit longer than anticipated, but it should be most doable. So we'll be having a Lily, I'm pretty sure of that. Then can't have Vogan with Lily. Wearables, I'm sure, would make a good company here. So let's put her in. Could ask Saloon. And as for the last one, do we rather have Musart or Durandal? I think if we rearrange this slightly, should be all good. So reflex, ew. We gotta get you rid of that. But for the time being, apart from the fact that don't need another Heartburst hood. Nor do we need a second bloody herb. Apart from the trinkets, everything seems to be fine. Plus healing received is good. Though plus damage when in position 1 is also good. Less speed, but Leper's already very slow, so... there he goes. He's got bleed heal chance, less healing skills, plus speed when low. Yeah, it's okay for me. So here's more blight skill chance. Do we use the blight skill? We don't. Should we? Totally good, but then again we are speaking about Weld here. Weld's not the Warrens, got to admit. Gives more speed too. Yeah, let's swap that one. Now I'm trading dodge for move resistance. Is it worth it? Should I find something else for her? Oh, we have multiple survival guides. Oh well. Plus healing skills, less maximum HP. Yeah, sure. Who needs maximum HP anyway, lalalal. Not when you can heal for over 50% extra. And then... let's see, Durandal gets a bigger sword. Billy gets a better flail, Wearables gets a new pickaxe, and Saloon gets a hardier mace. Not that she uses it much, but for what she does, it's probably worth it. Then one more thing, yeah, it really is like that, isn't it? So here we go. Let's see. May need a bit more for food, for this is a tougher mission. As well as a bit more torches. Then it's weld, so that should do it. Those and those should not be forgotten. We don't need the blood, it seems. I do think this is about it. Yes.
I knew all these paths once. Now they are as twisted as my own ambitions.
Don't like this at all. No, 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 no. Could we have a bit more food with us? And here we go. Actually should spare all of those for later.
Nature herself, a victim to the spreading
we'll be
corruption,
coming back on this
malformed
path
with misintent.
out of sheer necessity, if nothing else. A room battle with treasure, I see. So 60, 50, 170. No tomfoolery allowed at this stage. Another hut.
A fortune, waiting to be spent.
Can fight in shadowy conditions, that we can. So let's see. We want to get rid of the ectoplasm, though we also want to get rid of the stress stealers. Probably should focus on the stress stealers with those who can attack them. I forgot to do that thing for you. Can't do it in combat for understandable reasons. Well, can either deal 5 to 9 with that or 6 to 13 with that. Minimum roll would have been better. Well, she's dead next round nonetheless. Saloon getting stressed is a prime example of why that earlier move might have been. Well, at least we chose to take care of the stress dealers first.
Annihilated.
There we go. I bring the darkness in just as well, which I do not particularly like.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
And now let's get rid of that
Confidence
thing.
surges as the enemy crumbles.
Can't dazzling light over there, but can judgment over there. And get those corpses out of the way, thank you.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy.
A shaky start, but we made it. This is a bandage tree, is it not? Well, we'll take a look at it in a moment. Well, if you got to. Can't have quite pitch black.
Ancient traps lie in wait. Unsprung and thirsting for blood.
Not pitch black yet, we are good. What in oblivion is that? It's got protection, so might as well. I should probably have taken the fungal batteries out first. Let's try stunning. Since we have this fella who's only going to be able to hit this towering ectoplasm anyway. Big slime, well, yeah, that you are. So this does 2 points of bleeding and may do... it does 0 damage because protection. Well, Saloon, do finish them off, won't you? Won't? What a shame. Well, in the end, that means you'll die to bleeding. If I so allow it. that thing dies to bleeding, which is good. Everyone is healed up again.
Ringing
But that
ears.
means we'll get that to the
Blurred
front
vision.
with the escape
The end
cloud thing.
approaches. Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
As the
There we
fiend
go.
falls, a faint hope
Pick to the
blossoms.
face, wherever the face may be.
Darkness closes in.
So, what do
haunting
we
the
have
hearts of men.
here? A map. Well, I do hope it was of some use. Now keep an eye on this place. Don't want to run into a shambler. That is for sure.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
Those will pay more than these will, that I'm pretty sure of. Well, we got a pathway that we've gone through now.
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles.
So deeds
Paid
plus
for in blood.
rests. Let's see what we can leave behind. There's a herb curio right ahead, so probably not that. What options do we have? We really would like to have all of these. Well, we have Medic's Greaves, so it would only be money. That's one. Emeralds are only money. That's two. And the crests. That's bandages then. So you had 70 saloon. Go for it. Got it. Not too bad at all. We'll be where we need to be soon. No shamblers thus far. Food, yes, I brought lots. Oh no, no. I wanted to use the herbs on that. Well, they're making way for Emerald now. I guess. A fight? Well, that's 3 torches. A ghoul stands before us. But we'll need to take care of the cultist enchantress before we take care of the ghoul. I think Saloon can heal Lily enough, since he doesn't really care about being on the death's door. And you are only able to chop, since... yeah, that thing.
Destroyed.
Nice pick to the face there. And let's put the ghoul blade in. And administer a held beatdown.
The abyss returns even the boldest gaze.
Didn't take Laudanum with us, which may have been a mistake, but also didn't remember ghouls would show their face here, which was a mistake. So in the
Prodigious
end,
size alone does not dissuade
mistakes are
the sharpened
mistakes
blade.
and they happen. Moving on. Probably camping soon-ish, but not that soon. Still forgetting to put those blight darts out. Let's try and put some damage on the sycophant. And it will be most unfortunate if Saloon now gets afflicted, I'll admit that much. But if it happens, well, then it happens. Another crit, so... Well, cursed she may be then. Cursed she may be. Got to do something about that, if I at all can.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
So let's dagger that one out of the game before they do more of the maddening whining. And that's that creature finished.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
And let's hopefully get some blood for
This
her.
is
It
how
would be
life
most
is
unfortunate
taken.
to not get any blood for her.
As
Take
victories
what
mount,
we can.
so too will resistance.
We did not get blood for her, which is unfortunate. But these things happen occasionally. This is where we'll not be coming back, so... Should probably set a camp in that room, I think. Well, if you gotta. Hung up. So let's see. If it's a fight, then we'll take it. A scouting, yeah, that tells us a lot. Nice. This would use a shovel. Unsure if smart. Well, we shall camp here then.
A moment of respite. A chance to steel oneself against the coming horrors.
Have an entire feast. Let's see. Pray all companions if religious, minus stress. Yep. Too bad it doesn't affect her. And this guy's, well, that guy. Let's try for the gallows humor. Encourage. Anything else we could really do? We could pilfer. Or pep talk. Can't pep talk oneself for obvious reasons. Well, let's pilfer. And get a nighttime ambush.
Secrets and wonders can be found in the most
There we
tenebrous corners
are.
of this place.
might have killed them, but in the end it ended up not hitting them at all. Well, forward you go, Lily. As for you, Saloon, well, they got so much stun resistance, it's better if you just drop the hammer.
Another one falls.
And now, finally, we have Durandal and his manly hewing attack. Well, might as well.
Another abomination cleansed
This
from our
was,
land.
without a doubt, the suckiest nighttime ambush I've ever seen.
Wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
I think these things wanted holy water for themselves. Touch it! Oh well. Let's see what there's in that hallway. A curio. Technically speaking, we still need to explore that room. So, what did I get? Nothing, because Crimson Curse. Yeah, you got City of Mania, that's the problem here, Saloon. Now we can leave that one curio be, that's not that important.
In
More
Radiance,
food.
may we find victory.
We got enough for one more eating. If we go to 2, then it's just disproportionately often. Oh dearie me, a frothing madman. The absolute madman. Got to get rid of the Enchantress first though. Them marking this folk's going to be very annoying. There we go. As for Durandal, he's just going to hew at those. And next, our target shall be the Madman.
Festering fear consumes the mind.
Would you guys like the groping swipe? Well, we can make do.
Impressive.
I agree, Ancestor, I fully agree.
The ground quakes.
This is going much better than I had dared anticipate. Smooth sailing so far. 4 to 8, 6 to 13. Not dead. Minimum roll just happened to come by, but it happens. It's dead next round anyway, so we can turn our focus on the one in the front. With a pick to the face. Unfortunately, rather low roll of damage, but shopping time. So how much blight do you have? Alright, it's curable.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
It's curable. As for these herbs, I do not think we'll find much use of them. This is a bandage tree, we don't have bandages, lol. Quest is completed, so let's just adventure the rest of the way. There's treasure and curios to be had. And torches to burn. That's the food we saved for. Cultists. Pushing Lily will only end up delaying him for a turn. That much I know. And a pair of lovely ladies here will be more than happy to administer justice in the meantime. So if we heal, we have a real chance of killing them both.
Decimated.
Lepers aren't half bad. And for the entire time we were here, we kept forgetting to make wearables throw poison darts. We'll fix that for the last encounter. That we will do.
Devastating blow.
2
A
rupees.
trifling victory, but
Not
a
just
victory
one.
nonetheless.
But 2 of the things. Interesting. Very interesting. Wearables. We will not need the thrown dagger. So there was this battle as well. Forgot about it. So let's see. We put out poison darts. There's a good chance that thing resists it, so let's just soften it up with a good old pick to the face. Since we are in a hurry in killing that thing.
Well struck.
Alright, this sycophant's not quite dead, is it? No, it isn't. No, that's true, it's not quite dead. Ah, dearie me, you are not allowing any fun at all, here are you? What can we start? Well, not that thing at least. Hugh's going to hit them both, I'm sure. So let's put some damage into the back row there. Yeah, Hugh's not going to be hitting them both, because that thing's going to move first. Of course. A problem in our generous plan. Got to finish that thing off. Ain't no other option. You are not going to be doing anything useful. With the exception of taking those blights and stuff for yourself. It can be useful, relatively speaking.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
So pop an anti-venom and replace it with the Baron's invitation. Drop the emeralds, take the deeds, and finally we have the blood. We won't be using any shovels anymore. Fortunately, we didn't use that one on that grave either, but nor will we be using any
The way is lit.
torches.
The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
And just when Saloon turns to crave. And let's fix the party order real quick. Right, so big to the face. And you immediately have to pull her in, failing to do so, despite her lack of resistance.
Obliterated.
And then we unleash the Murder Vestal. Fortunate miss there. I can't hit them all, can't hit them all. Could have been worse. And we go queuing. And luckily that's on the slime, not the full cytokinesis. So might as well. Well, cannot really perform.
The wounds of war
If we
can
kill
be
that
healed.
through ordinary means,
but
then
never
the
hidden.
leper's going to have a problem. Ectoplasmic profusion, and we get a towering ectoplasm right in front of us. Oh, grand. Well, the towering ectoplasm is going to be slain.
A momentary abatement.
It's just a matter of time. Too bad the ectoplasms don't really give any loot, if I'm not sorely mistaken. But in the end, the mission's pretty much over. Doesn't use anything but big slime, so I doubt it has anything
Monstrous
but big
size
slime.
has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
There we go. And let's head back to get the treasure. Lights
The
off.
darkness holds much worse than mere trickery and boogeymen.
So no more shovels. Then for the... Yep, that seems about right.
Every cleared path and charted route reduces the isolation of our troubled estate.
Good, good. More people at level 4, also vampiric spirits. Got to do something about that. Flagellant has been replaced by Fear of Eldritch. Well, at least she can now return to the brothel she so loves. A natural swing has replaced Clutter. Alright.
There is a great horror beneath the manor. A crawling chaos that must be destroyed.
Before we forget, let's put Durandal into treatment. And other than that, I do think that is very much enough. For this week, at the very least. Next time, we'll be delving ever deeper. And hopefully... Yes. It looks like we are going for the hag. Until then.